Have you ever felt like you're lost in life? Perhaps you've been facing tough times or going through challenges that seem impossible to understand. Maybe you feel stuck or uncertain about the next steps in your journey. If that sounds familiar, don't worry, because there's something important happening. Behind the scenes, God is repositioning your path. It's easy to get caught up in the feeling that life is a series of random events, that things just happen without any real purpose. You might think that your struggles and setbacks are just part of the chaos of existence, but today I want to share with you a powerful message. Sometimes life is not just a string of random moments or coincidences. It's actually a divine realignment, a plan that God is orchestrating specifically designed to lead you to your true purpose. God works in mysterious ways, and often we don't see the bigger picture until we take a step back and look at the path we've been walking. It's easy to feel confused or frustrated when things don't seem to make sense. But what if I told you that these moments of difficulty and uncertainty are actually signs that God is positioning you exactly where He wants you to be? His guidance is always there, even when we can't see it right away. And even though the road may not be smooth, there's a purpose behind every step, every detour, and every challenge. God knows exactly where He's taking you. Every single step in your life has a purpose, even the ones that feel wrong or uncertain. It may seem like the world is throwing obstacles in your way, but trust me, these obstacles are often part of God's plan to strengthen you and prepare you for what's ahead. If you feel lost right now, take comfort in knowing that you are not alone. God is always by your side, leading you even when the way seems unclear. And the beautiful thing is, when we accept God's guidance and trust in His plan, we begin to see how everything falls into place, even if it doesn't happen the way we expect it. Sometimes the struggles we go through are like puzzle pieces that only make sense in hindsight. We may be blind to the bigger picture at the moment, but God sees the whole thing. Your life is not a mistake. Your path is not an accident. God is positioning you, realigning your journey to bring you closer to your destiny. He's got you on a journey that's unique to you and designed to help you grow, learn and fulfill His purpose for your life. The question is, are you ready to trust in that process? Are you ready to step forward even when things don't make sense? God's realignment of your life can be a beautiful transformation if you open yourself to His plan and embrace the changes He's orchestrating in your life. The journey may be challenging, but with God by your side, you can walk with faith and confidence, knowing that your steps are being guided. So I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a time in your life when you felt like your path was being realigned or repositioned? How did you recognize God's hand in it? Share your story in the comments below. I would love to hear about your journey and how God has guided you through difficult moments. If this message resonated with you, please like and share this video with others who might need to hear this encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more uplifting messages and inspiration as we continue to explore the powerful ways God is working in our lives. Stay encouraged, trust in God's plan, and remember, every step of your life is leading you to something greater. Keep moving forward with faith. Sometimes life can make us feel stuck, unsure of where we're headed, or why things seem so difficult. There are moments when the road ahead seems unclear, and the challenges you face appear insurmountable. You may find yourself wondering why things are happening to you, or why it feels like nothing is going the way you imagined. You might feel overwhelmed, uncertain, and even lost, like you're wandering without any real direction. Perhaps you've been waiting for a breakthrough that hasn't come yet, or a sense of peace that feels distant. These feelings are completely normal, but they are also an invitation to look beyond the circumstances and consider something powerful. Maybe what you're experiencing is not just random. Maybe it's part of a divine process of God repositioning your life. It's easy to get discouraged when we face uncertainty or hardship. We want answers, we want things to fall into place, and we want to know that we're on the right path. But sometimes the very difficulties we face are signs that God is repositioning us. He's rearranging the pieces of our lives in ways we can't yet see, and while the process may be uncomfortable, it's all part of his bigger plan. It's in those moments of confusion and difficulty that we have an opportunity to trust him more deeply. The reality is, God doesn't always give us the full picture at once. He doesn't promise to solve every problem right away, but he does promise to guide us. And that guidance is something we can trust even when things seem chaotic and unclear. In those difficult moments when we feel like we are lost or directionless, it's important to remember that God is not absent. He may not solve every problem immediately, but he is always with us, guiding us through the challenges and helping us see opportunities that we might have missed otherwise. His guidance is not always immediate or obvious, but it's always present. The key is learning to recognize it even when we're in the middle of a storm. God's presence in our lives doesn't mean that everything will always be easy or that we'll always have all the answers, but it does mean that we're never truly alone in the journey. Even when we feel lost or overwhelmed, God is with us, walking alongside us and leading us step by step towards something greater. One of the most powerful truths about God's guidance is that he doesn't just point us in the right direction and leave us to figure it out on our own. He walks with us through the process, guiding us through the toughest moments and teaching us the lessons we need to learn. It's through these moments of challenge that God often shows us things we would never have seen otherwise. It's when we feel the most uncertain that he reveals his purpose and his plan for us. The difficulty you're experiencing may be a lesson in patience, perseverance, or trust. Or perhaps it's the moment when God is preparing you for something bigger than you ever imagined. This idea of God repositioning our paths can be seen throughout the Bible. Let's look at the lives of some well-known biblical figures who experienced significant life changes and how they were guided by God through those transitions. One powerful example is the story of Abraham. When God first called Abraham, he asked him to leave his homeland, his family, and everything he knew to go to a place that God would show him. Genesis 12:1-2. Abraham didn't know exactly where he was going, and it must have been a daunting and overwhelming experience to step into the unknown. Yet Abraham trusted God's guidance, and by doing so, he became the father of many nations, fulfilling God's plan for his life. Abraham didn't have all the answers, but he trusted God's direction even when it didn't make sense in the moment. Another incredible example is Moses. Moses' life was full of dramatic shifts and changes. Born in a time when the Israelites were oppressed in Egypt, Moses spent his early years in the palace, only to be forced into exile after killing an Egyptian who was mistreating a Hebrew. For years he lived in the desert, far from his homeland, and it must have seemed like a detour in his life. But it was during this time of isolation that God spoke to Moses from the burning bush, revealing his plan to use Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Exodus 3. Moses was reluctant and unsure of himself, but God reassured him that he would be with him every step of the way. Moses' journey wasn't easy and he faced many obstacles, but through it all, God's guidance never wavered. Moses wasn't in control of the events that unfolded in his life, but God used each step of his journey to position him for a greater purpose. He went from being a shepherd in the wilderness to becoming the leader of a nation, and all the while God was guiding him and shaping his path. Both Abraham and Moses experienced life-changing shifts, and in each case God used their struggles, confusion, and even failures to lead them to their ultimate purpose. Their journeys weren't easy, but they were guided by God every step of the way. And this is the same for us. God may not always give us the full picture of where he's taking us, but he is always positioning us for something greater. Each challenge, each unexpected twist, and each moment of confusion is part of a bigger plan that God is unfolding. When we look at these biblical stories, we see a common thread. God works in the midst of life changes. He doesn't just leave us to figure it out on our own. Instead, he is with us, guiding us through the transitions, teaching us what we need to learn, and leading us toward the destiny he has designed for us. Just like Abraham and Moses, we may not always understand the reasons behind the changes in our lives, but we can trust that God is always working in the background to position us for something greater. So what does this mean for you today? It means that even when you feel lost, uncertain or overwhelmed, God is still with you. He is guiding your steps even when you can't see where they're leading. Every change in your life could be a step in God's plan, helping you find the path He has designed specifically for you. Sometimes we need to go through the tough times to learn the lessons we need to grow. And while the journey may not always be easy, God's guidance is constant. He's always leading us even when the way is unclear, and He will never leave us to walk this path alone. As you face life changes, I encourage you to take a step back and trust that God is at work in your life. You may not have all the answers right now, but you can trust that He is guiding you towards something greater. Every challenge you face is a part of His divine plan, and through it He is positioning you for your true purpose. Trust in His timing, trust in His guidance, and trust that He is always with you, leading you to the path He has prepared for you. In the moments when you feel overwhelmed or lost, remember the stories of Abraham and Moses. Their lives were full of change, uncertainty, and struggle, but they were never alone. God was guiding them every step of the way, and He's doing the same for you. Every twist, every turn, every challenge is an opportunity for God to reposition you to help you grow and to bring you closer to the destiny He has for you. So embrace the changes in your life, even the difficult ones, and trust that God is positioning you for something greater. You may not see it yet, but the journey you're on is part of His perfect plan for your life. When God is repositioning your path, you may notice sudden changes from new encounters to unexpected opportunities. Life often takes unexpected turns, and while some of these changes may seem difficult or unsettling at first, they can be signs that God is shifting your direction, guiding you to something greater than you could have imagined. These unexpected changes are not accidents or coincidences. They are part of a divine realignment, a way God is positioning you for your future. You may feel that things are happening too quickly, or that the changes are out of your control, but this can be the very moment when God is opening new doors for you. There's an old saying that goes, "When one door closes, another opens." In the Christian walk, we believe that God is the one who opens and closes doors in our lives. Sometimes the doors He closes are to protect us from something harmful, or to prevent us from staying on a path that isn't aligned with His will for us. But when He opens a new door, it's a sign of His grace and divine provision. It might be an unexpected encounter with someone who becomes an important part of your life, or an opportunity that suddenly arises offering you a chance to move forward in a way you hadn't thought possible. These are not just coincidences, they are God's way of repositioning your life. As you experience these unexpected changes, you might feel a sense of unease or confusion at first. It's only natural to question why things are changing, and it can be hard to see the purpose behind the sudden shifts. But over time, as you begin to reflect on these changes, you may notice a recurring sense of guidance, something deep within your heart that assures you that God is leading you. Even though the road ahead may seem unclear, there is a peaceful confidence that begins to grow within you, knowing that God is in control and that this unexpected turn in your journey is part of His divine plan for your life. This sense of peace is one of the most significant indicators that God is at work in your life. While everything around you might seem chaotic, you will find peace in your heart. God's guidance isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's a quiet, subtle sense of assurance and knowing that God is directing your steps even when you can't see the whole picture. It's the calm in the storm, the stillness in the midst of the unknown that allows you to move forward with confidence, trusting that God is leading you, even when the path is not yet clear. But how can you be sure that the changes in your life are really God's doing? How do you know that the shifts you're experiencing are signs of divine guidance rather than mere coincidence or random events? There are several specific signs to look for that can help confirm that God is at work in your life. One of the most noticeable signs that God is changing your path is when you are presented with opportunities you didn't expect. These are doors that seem to open out of nowhere, offering you chances to move in a new direction. It might be a new job opportunity, a chance to study something you never considered before, or an encounter with someone who introduces you to a world you never imagined. These opportunities may feel like they came out of the blue, but in reality they are part of God's plan to reposition you for His purpose. In these moments, it's important to recognize that God often works in mysterious ways. We might feel unprepared for the opportunity or even unworthy, but God doesn't wait for us to be perfect before He opens doors. He prepares us along the way, teaching us, molding us, and then placing us in the right position at the right time. The opportunities that come your way, even if they seem unexpected, are often part of a greater divine plan. They are signs that God is realigning your path, preparing you for something bigger than you can see right now. Another sign that God is changing your path is a shift in how you view your past decisions. Sometimes when God is repositioning your life, He allows you to look back at your past choices with a new perspective. You may find that mistakes or failures you once regretted no longer seem like burdens, but rather as lessons that led you to where you are today. This shift in perspective is a powerful sign that God has been guiding you all along, even in the moments when you didn't recognize it. It's easy to look at our past with regret or shame, especially when we feel like we've made wrong turns. But God uses even our mistakes for His glory. He works all things together for the good of those who love Him. Romans 8:28. When God is repositioning your life, He helps you see how every choice, every challenge, and every setback has played a part in preparing you for the future. Instead of focusing on the past with bitterness or self-doubt, you begin to see how it has shaped you into the person you are becoming. This new perspective allows you to move forward with a sense of peace, knowing that God was always with you, even when you couldn't see His hand at work. One of the most powerful signs that God is changing your path is when you begin to see events in your life that make you feel deeply protected and guided by Him. These events can take many forms, from miraculous moments of safety to experiences that remind you that you are not alone. You might find that the timing of certain events feels too perfect to be a coincidence, or that doors open for you in ways that feel like divine intervention. These events serve as reminders that God is actively involved in your life. They may come as small miracles, like finding exactly what you need at just the right time, or they may be moments of divine protection where you narrowly avoid danger or experience a sense of peace in a difficult situation. When God is repositioning your life, these moments are His way of saying, "I'm here with you. I'm guiding you. You're not alone." Such events reaffirm your faith and encourage you to trust God more fully. Even when the journey ahead seems uncertain, these signs of God's protection and guidance are reminders that He is with you, helping you navigate the challenges and opening the doors that lead to your destiny. To further illustrate these signs of God's guidance, let's look at the story of David, who was chosen by God to be king despite the many doubts and challenges he faced. David's life was full of unexpected events, including being anointed as king while he was still a young shepherd boy. He wasn't the oldest or the most obvious choice, but God saw his heart and called him to a higher purpose. As David's story unfolds, we see numerous instances where God provides signs of His guidance and protection. One of the most significant moments in David's life came when he faced the giant Goliath. At the time, no one believed that David, a young shepherd, could defeat the mighty warrior Goliath, but David trusted in God's guidance, and with a simple stone and his faith he defeated Goliath. This victory was not just a sign of David's courage, it was a clear sign that God was with him, guiding his every step. David's life was filled with challenges, including betrayal, warfare, and personal struggles, but through it all he continued to rely on God's guidance. Even when others doubted him, God remained faithful. David's story teaches us that God often uses unexpected events and opportunities to shape our paths. He doesn't always work in the way we expect, but He is always at work positioning us for His purpose, just like David. When God is repositioning your life, He may lead you through unexpected changes, open doors you didn't foresee, and help you see your past in a new light. He is always guiding you, and through His small but clear signs, He is leading you toward your purpose. As you reflect on the changes in your life, remember to look for the signs that God is at work. The unexpected opportunities, the shifts in how you view your past, and the events that make you feel protected and guided. These are all ways God is repositioning your path. Trust that He is with you, guiding you every step of the way, just as He did with David. Even when the road ahead seems unclear, know that God is leading you towards something greater. Embrace these signs, trust in His timing, and keep moving forward with faith. When you feel that your path is changing, one of the most important things to remember is to trust God even when you can't see the outcome. Life doesn't always unfold in the way we expect. Sometimes it can feel as if the world around us is shifting, and we are uncertain of the direction we should take. This is especially true when it feels like our plans are being disrupted, or when the changes happening in our lives seem too overwhelming to comprehend. But in those moments, God is asking us to trust Him, even when we don't understand the bigger picture. Trusting God in these moments requires patience, a patience that is rooted in faith and confidence in His promises. The truth is, God has an amazing plan for your life, even if you can't see it right away. He sees the full picture when we can only see a small part of it. And although the path may seem unclear, He is leading you to something good. Trusting God when we cannot see the outcome requires us to let go of our desire for control and surrender to His timing. There are times when we may feel like the road is uncertain and it's tempting to make decisions based on our own understanding or to rush through the process because we're anxious or uncomfortable. However, God's timing is perfect. In the midst of waiting, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for our good. The key is to trust that He knows what He's doing, even when we cannot see the result. It may not happen according to our timeline, but God's plan is always better than anything we could imagine for ourselves. Patience is a critical component of trusting God when your life is being repositioned. Many times we want quick answers and immediate solutions, but God's timing doesn't always align with our expectations. He may ask you to wait to be still and to listen carefully for His voice. Learning to be patient and wait on God can be one of the hardest aspects of the Christian walk, but it is also one of the most important. God may allow you to go through seasons where things feel stagnant, or you may not know what the next step is. In those moments, He is asking you to trust Him even more. There may be times when you're not sure what direction to take, or when you feel as though you've been waiting too long for something to happen. This is where patience becomes vital. While waiting, it's essential to listen carefully to God's guidance. Patience doesn't mean being passive or inactive. It means actively seeking God's will through prayer, reading His Word, and being open to the Holy Spirit's leading. During seasons of waiting, God is speaking to us sometimes through Scripture, sometimes through other people, or even through our own hearts. The waiting period can be a time of growth, reflection, and deepening trust as we learn to listen more closely to His voice. When we learn to listen to God's guidance, we begin to discern His will for us more clearly. It's through listening that we understand the next steps He wants us to take, and sometimes we realize that the waiting itself is part of the process. Just as a seed needs time to grow into a tree, God is working behind the scenes to prepare us for what's to come. Now that we understand the importance of trusting God and being patient, let's look at some practical steps you can take to embrace and trust God's repositioning in your life. These actions are meant to help you stay grounded in faith, open to His leading, and prepared for the changes that lie ahead. 1. Pray and trust that God will show you the way. One of the most powerful tools you have in times of uncertainty is prayer. Prayer connects you to God, allowing you to express your concerns, desires, and questions to Him. When you are unsure about the direction you should take, prayer is a place where you can find clarity. Ask God to give you wisdom and discernment as you navigate the changes in your life. Trust that He will reveal the next steps in His perfect timing. In your prayers, be honest with God about your fears, frustrations, and doubts. He is not intimidated by your questions or your concerns. In fact, He welcomes them because it shows that you are seeking His guidance. Prayer is also a way to align your will with His. As you spend time talking with God, you will begin to see things from His perspective, and the sense of peace that comes with knowing you are walking in His will deepen. 2. Be open to change. Change can be difficult, especially when it feels like your entire life is being rearranged. It's natural to want to hold on to what's familiar and safe, but God often leads us out of our comfort zones to fulfill His purpose in our lives. Being open to change means trusting that God knows what's best for you, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. When God is repositioning your path, He may ask you to step into unfamiliar territory. It could mean taking a new job, moving to a new place, or starting a new relationship. While change can be daunting, it's important to remember that God has a plan for you, and that plan is far greater than what you can imagine. Embrace the changes as opportunities to grow, learn and discover new aspects of yourself and of God's plan for your life. Open yourself up to new possibilities even if they scare you. Trust that God is leading you to where you need to be, even if the journey looks different from what you expected. 3. Accept that the path won't always be smooth. But every challenge has a divine purpose. One of the realities of following God's lead is that the path won't always be easy. There will be bumps along the way, and at times it may seem like progress is slow or non-existent. There will be moments when you encounter obstacles that feel insurmountable. However, it's important to understand that every challenge serves a purpose, and challenges and difficulties are not signs that God has abandoned you. They are often the very tools He uses to shape you, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for the next chapter of your life. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn patience, perseverance, and trust in God's timing. It's also during the tough times that we draw closer to God, seeking His strength and guidance. When life becomes difficult, remember that God is always with you, guiding you through each challenge. And even if you don't understand why something is happening, you can trust that there is a divine purpose behind it. God uses all things, both good and bad, to work together for your good and for His glory. Romans 8:28. Trust that He is at work in your life even when the path is not easy. If you're feeling lost, discouraged, or unsure about the direction of your life, I want to encourage you today. Don't give up. God knows exactly what you need, and He has a plan for you that is far greater than anything you could have planned for yourself. You may not be able to see the outcome right now, but trust that God is guiding you. Every step you take, every change you experience is part of a greater plan that is being unfolded. God has placed a unique mission in your life that only you can fulfill. The world needs the person He is shaping you to be, and the journey you are on is leading you to something amazing. Your life has a purpose, and every trial, every challenge, every change is preparing you for what's to come. Even if you feel uncertain or lost right now, remember that God is always with you. He has not forgotten you, and He is not surprised by the twists and turns of your journey. You are exactly where He wants you to be, and the steps you are taking are leading you towards something beautiful. Keep moving forward with faith, knowing that God is guiding you. Trust His timing. Embrace the changes He is bringing into your life and accept that every challenge has a divine purpose. God has a perfect plan for your life, and He will bring you to the right place at the right time. Your story is not over yet, and the best is yet to come. Stay encouraged, stay patient, and keep trusting in God's plan for your life. The journey may not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. You are never alone, and God is with you every step of the way. To summarize the main message, God is repositioning your path not to make you weary, but to guide you toward a greater purpose that you might not see yet. Sometimes life's changes can feel confusing or difficult, but remember these shifts are part of His divine plan for you. Don't fear the changes that are happening in your life, because they're leading you towards something much greater than you could ever imagine. Even when you cannot see the full picture, trust that God's hand is at work, guiding you to the place you were always meant to be. Every detour, every challenge, every unexpected turn is part of a plan that only He can see in full. Now, I want to encourage you to trust and be patient in this journey. It's easy to feel like you want to control every step, but this journey is about learning to let go and trust in God's timing. Don't hesitate to walk the path that He has prepared for you, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. You are chosen for this journey and God is leading the way. You may not always know exactly where you're headed, but you can be confident that you are on the right path as long as you continue to trust Him. Embrace the changes, be open to the new opportunities, and know that God is always with you. I invite you to share your own stories in the comments below. Have you experienced a moment when your path was suddenly redirected? How did you recognize God's hand at work in those changes? Your story could be an encouragement to someone else going through a similar season. And if this message has resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more inspirational content like this. Together, let's continue to walk in faith, trusting that God is guiding each of us toward our unique purpose. Lord, thank you for the journey you've placed before me. I ask for your blessing and guidance in every step I take. Help me recognize your divine plan for my life, even when I don't understand all the details. Grant me the patience to trust in your timing and the faith to embrace the changes you're bringing into my life. I know that you are always with me, and I trust that you are leading me to where I'm meant to be. In Jesus' name, amen.